I said to someone before that we're from two different worlds. We're from two different worlds, and it won't work. It won't mean you won't work together because we're from two different worlds. And he said, "What the fuck are you talking about? We're from the same world. We're from the same world." I said, "I don't know where you grew up, honey, but we're not from the same world." Every morning when I wake up and before I go to college, and I'm doing my makeup every morning in the mirror, I'm practicing two lines that if someone pushed me close to the edge, I have two lines prepared. Two lines, I always have two good ones that absolutely annihilate you, that make you don't want to exist anymore. Because pain is pain, because you're torturing me with pain. Oh, I think that's a man. Oh, I think she's a man. She's a man. Oh, that's a transvestite on the train right there. You know, we all have to start somewhere. When I first started, I was what you call a brick. That's what the community called it. And I remember getting in on the train as I was about to go to college. I was doing my homework because I swung on a pole that night to pay my bills. And this lesbian, dressed as a man, bald-headed, and her girlfriend, she joined the circus or something because her outfit, it's too brighter than a clown. There are so many colors. But the dyke says, "Oh my fucking God, there's a transvestite on the train. There's a drag queen on the train. There's a drag queen. There's a transsexual on the train. Leave that shit for the village." I never forget what she said. She said, "Leave that shit for the village, son." But let's look at that thought, what she said. Leave that shit for the village. I am going to school. And after school, I have half an hour to reach at work. Literally, when the bell ring, I am running to the train because I have to get to work in half an hour. So basically, she's telling me, leave that shit for the village. She's telling me not to come out of my apartment, not to go to school, not to go to work, not to educate myself. I must lock myself up in the house and come out at nighttime only to go to the village. The lady beside me tapped me and says, "Look who's talking." She said, "Look who's talking." Because she's a dyke, a lesbian. The way she dressed, people would have said, "I want to be man. And she's coming for me. Throwing stone when you live in glass house. The community is always been the first one to attack. And then when other people do it, you pretend you're fighting for rights. You pretend throwing stones when you live in glass house. Now, let's talk about my two lines. I have two good ones. I was on the train, same as usual, doing my homework. This man says, "You're not a real woman. You're not a real woman. You're not a real woman." I'm paying him no mind. "You're not a real," and he just keep going on and on and on and on and on. And I said, "And what's your definition of a real woman?" That's what I said to him. And he said, "Not you." And I said, "Every morning you wake up and you look in that mirror and brushing that stinking mouth of yours. Just remember, there's a chick with a dick that's bigger than yours. Because I'm packing 10 inches. 10 fucking inches. I'm a girl with a dick that's bigger than yours." And he said, "You're probably right." And he couldn't say another word. He got off at Franklin Avenue and wait on the same line, because he was so embarrassed. The school kids, the teenagers, they were running back and forth in the train and giving me high five like, "Yeah!" Because I just annihilated this man. Because it let him know that me saying that I have a dick that's bigger than yours, it's letting him know that I wasn't afraid of him. I wasn't afraid of who I am. I'm not ashamed of who I am. You know, I'm one of those girls that get into the train and I said, "Excuse me," and I look up for the highest sign and I read the sign because I'm not going to be uncomfortable. I would pay the same fare to get on the train. I'm not going to sit in no handicap seat. I ain't no fucking handicap. And so that's one of my lines that I normally use. One of my lines. The other one, because it's a fat person. I have nothing against fat person. Right now I'm a fat bitch. So I have nothing against fat person. But it's always the fat woman also coming for us. I get on the train, this fat lady now, she's like, you want to have a pussy, you want to be a woman like me, you want to have a pussy. So I get up with my size 6 stuff. I was size 6 at the time. And I said, sweetie, what's the use of having a pussy if you can't find it? Can you find your pussy? Lift your stomach up, darling. Can you find it? Where's that? Where's that, honey? Find your pussy. I said, I can see my thing clearly. You can't find yours. Imagine the smell that comes from that. If you can't find your fish, that fish is rotten, honey. That's what I said, honey. It's always some. I always say, come for somebody if you're perfect. And nobody's perfect. So the meaning of that story is, don't be coming for anyone. Don't be coming for anyone. Spread love.